Cod. Every morning we ask and you answer. This is Stephanie in the Morning, where locals take the mic. Your neighbor, your favorite shop owner, maybe you. Business, community, culture, and whatever's on your mind over coffee. Let's start the day together. Powered by Lemonadio. Hello and good morning. Happy Monday. How are you?
I'm great. I mean, it's Monday.
I know.
So I'm tired.
I'm like, what did I do yesterday? I was in bed by 8 o'clock.
Oh, God. I had a long day yesterday. We had a fundraiser all day yesterday
Okay.
in the sun. So we raised a bunch of money for a children's hospital. So
That's awesome.
it was great, but exhausting.
Yeah.
Exhausting.
Yep.
275 chickens.
Oh, okay.
Like the chicken breast. That's what we served people at the event.
Oh, that's nice.
And it was
It's a lot of chicken.
It was a lot of chickens, but only 200 cookies, which my husband will not let me forget. He's like,
you were
need
short?
more? Yeah, we were short on cookies,
Oh,
which was my
man.
fault because I don't like cookies.
Like, well, we don't need them. I'm not eating one. So there's
Exactly.
got to be more people like me.
He's like, we should have bought 400.
He's so awesome. He's
so
such a good
awesome.
egg.
He is. He's so great.
I met his sister at an event where I was at, and she was like such a doll. She's
She
like,
is a doll.
"Stephanie."
He has 3 sisters.
Amazing.
Yes, he's the baby. And
Oh,
yeah,
all right. Yeah. So he's got like 3 extra moms.
he does. Yeah, she's a doll. She's so great.
Good. I
Yeah.
love it. So Jillian is back with us. She is our nurse practitioner extraordinaire who just survived the long week. Fair is over.
Yes.
Last week, I don't know. I just couldn't get out of my damn way. We're also planning a giant event for the chamber. We've got our 20th annual La Tavola, which is a 400 person long table Italian dinner.
Wow.
So it's a lot
That's
of moving
wild.
parts.
Yeah.
And we had our final meeting on Friday with the team.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not ready.
That's a big event.
It is.
Is it like family style eating?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
super cool.
Pink Door Catering thankfully handles all of the food department.
Okay,
So I don't
that's
have to
great.
wade
Yeah.
into any of that. And they just crush it. Matt knocks it out of the park. If you need a caterer on Cape Cod, I'm letting you know, even off Cape Cod, they're the Lombardos. So they have been around for a long time. They're a family of restaurateurs. And he is just crushing it.
Yeah.
His wife is fabulous. KJ did the worm at our celebration last year on the ground.
Amazing. Amazing.
We had our entire select board doing John Cotton doing splits. He brought his own cardboard boxes.
John Cotton would do the splits.
Oh, yeah. But then it started this whole competition. So everybody was doing splits. I was like, what is happening here?
Were they doing some breakdancing on the cardboard?
Yes.
You got to bring your own for that for sure.
I was dying. So Chris Ball over at Mash P TV is like, I've been looking at some mats we could probably throw out. It might, elevate the event just a little bit.
I have some jujitsu mats in my basement. I'll loan them to you for the event.
I would love that. Things you don't think of whilst planning events.
Yeah, I'll just stick them in the back of my car. Be like, just in case you need these.
Extra cookies and jujitsu mats for all.
Yes, it's perfect.
So let's jump right into it because peptides, I feel like everybody's talking about them.
Yes.
There are so many of them.
Yes.
I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts the other day, The Diary of a CEO, when he had this medical expert on who actually the guy focuses on ED stuff. But he starts talking about all of the world of crazy peptides.
Yes.
What's to come, why we've never heard of it.
Well, I think more people have probably heard of peptides than they know.
Well, because, they have actual names too.
They do. They have real names. I think probably the most famous peptide is insulin, right? Insulin is a peptide.
There you go.
So it's been around for a very long time, for over 100 years. It was discovered and they have been able to cure type 1 diabetics. They were dying at a very young age. And that was the first peptide they discovered. But right now, everyone just kind of lumps lots of things into the peptide category, instead of being like, oh, I'm taking my blood pressure medication or I'm eating healthy. They're like, you got those peptide things?
You're like, okay.
Yeah. So, there is a lot to that. Like all these GLP-1s that everyone.
Those are peptides.
Those are peptides. That's what the P stands for is a peptide. So it's just an amino acid, which if you think back to like science, class, like 5th grade science. It's just it's a building block of a protein.
I forget what the first ones that we used to drink them all the time, and it was like a recovery after we would work
so it's
out.
probably BCAAs, which are branched chain amino acids. Yeah, which is slightly different than a peptide. So peptides can come in groups of 4 up to hundreds of them. So, yeah, so the molecular structure kind of drives the function, but for this conversation, that's not important.
Okay.
Yeah. So mostly everyone, is coming for peptides for like various reasons, but the most common one is soft tissue injury.
Okay.
So like someone has a partial tear in their ACL or their shoulder, or they like strained their hamstring doing the splits.
Yeah, right. After hanging out with us, you never know. You're going to need some peptides.
Yeah. So that peptide is BPC, which is body protective compound 157. I know they have the weird. They all
obnoxious.
Sound like Star Wars droids.
Yes.
Yeah, they're Star Wars droids. Like R2D2. We've got BPC 157. So that one comes 2 forms. Like you can inject it right near the site of injury, and it reduces inflammation.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's amazing. That's
so doctors and trainers have been using these for years, or
so mostly in Russia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems accurate.
Yes, accurate. So a lot of the peptides we have, besides like insulin and GLPs, come from a lot of studies out of Russia, which I think make people seem very skeptical of them.
Yeah.
They've moved into a safer space in this country and other countries. So most of them, 90% of the peptides that you're hearing that people are using come from a compounding pharmacy.
Okay.
So if a trainer is getting it for you, it's probably coming from a bathtub. Like a little, maybe questionable, unless they have a doctor that works with them. Yeah. But that doesn't mean they don't have good information about the peptides. They might know which ones you need, but where you source it really, really matters.
Got it.
Yeah. And most mainstream doctors, like if you go to your primary and you're like, I want BPC 157, they're going to be like, I don't have any idea.
Sorry, can't get that for you.
Right. Mostly because not everyone's comfortable with the compounding pharmacy space. So we have like just last week, actually, they had hearings. The FDA had hearings about 8 peptides.
Okay.
And whether we should have them.
Oh, right.
Right. So they approved most of them. So 7 out of the 8 were approved, and not approved in the sense that like they'll be available at CVS.
Yeah.
But approved in the sense that the FDA was like, whatever.
Yeah. Right. It's not going to harm you.
Yeah. Well, they're not sure. Yeah. Much.
You go right ahead and get to that. Let us know.
Yeah. Just an N of 1. You let me know how that works out for you. Yeah. So they approved 7 of the 8, meaning compounding pharmacies can legally make them now.
Okay.
Which is great because we don't have to live in that gray space anymore.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean they're going to do human studies.
I feel like post-COVID, a lot of us are willing to roll the dice a little bit on treatments that we feel may or may not be good for us in general because it makes us feel better right now.
Yes. And I think that's so true, right? And people, I think after COVID or even during COVID, were very much like, I just want to feel better.
Yeah.
I want my life to be better. And my blood pressure medication isn't doing it, or my diabetes medication isn't doing it. What's the harm in finding something that truly makes me feel better?
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's
we're open to it for the first time.
Yes.
And honestly, we're not just like, go ahead, doctor, give us whatever. Cause now we're skeptical of everything.
Everything. Right. Yeah. And it has to be like when they come in and they're like, I have these symptoms and I can recommend some peptides, they're more on board with like, yes, just give it all to me. I'm like, don't you want to talk about the risks first? Right.
Most people are like, meh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Life is long. Viva feeling better.
Yes,
yay.
Exactly.
What's up, Susan? Thanks for joining us. We've got our nurse practitioner friend, Jillian from Valen Medical on with us, and we are talking peptides today. So if you've got questions or you've heard something through the grapevine or through your hairdresser or from the gym and you're like, is that real? Should I take that?
Yes.
Yay or nay? Now is your opportunity to have a conversation with Jillian about whether, in fact, you should be taking that.
Yeah, that's a great point because lots of people are hearing about peptides, even from their hairdresser, right? Because one of the peptides is for hair growth, right?
See?
So if they're up there and they're like, "Ooh, you got some patterns of balding here."
This is all part of getting older, right? Yes. Where hair is thinning and our elastin's going away and our bodies are changing and everybody's screaming, the patch, take the patch.
And we did.
I'm
I
like,
think we talked about
"What?"
that before. We talked about the magnesium patch and the iron patch
Yes.
and the estrogen patch where they're now like sold out because there
Mhm.
was just this huge surge once they lifted the black box warning
Yeah.
off of it. Everyone's like, yes, I want that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And they should, right? If they medically need it and would benefit from it, absolutely they should ask their doctor for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're talking about it. If you've got questions, please feel free to jump in. We had a weird Sunday yesterday. I had to cover the farmer's market because there were so many other things going on. Live, love local, something
Mhm.
else. And my daughter calls me. And I'm like, is she calling me from the basement? Seriously? Calls me. Finally pick it up in a FaceTime. And she's like, Mom, there's a bunny in my room. I'm like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Flips the camera around, zooms in, and there's just a rabbit sitting in her dirty clothes pile.
How did it get in?
My husband left the bulkhead open yesterday when he was doing work.
That is hysterical.
I'm like, oh my God.
How did she get it out?
She went and picked it up and moved it outside.
Oh,
She was telling me what kind of animals they are. She's like, oh, they're fight or flight. That thing's not going to bite me. I'll get
that's
it
true.
out.
Although bunnies kick, right?
I was like just waiting for her to have an absolute meltdown while taking this thing out.
Yeah.
But she's the animal whisperer. She
Oh
picked
my
him up,
God.
moved him outside, and got
That's
on with her day.
adorable.
But we have never laughed so hard in my life yesterday.
My daughter volunteers at the MSPCA and she's in
Fun.
the small animal room.
Yeah.
And she tells me all the time, she's like, the bunnies just kick. They're so mad and they just kick and kick.
Yeah, they don't want to be here.
They
Why are we here right
They don't want
now?
to be there.
Oh, the wonders of being youthful and not afraid of things.
Right. Yeah. She doesn't like the birds though. She's like, I think they're gonna get me.
My older daughter is terrified of birds. I remember we did this cool walkthrough over at Cape Cod Park Zoo or Franklin Park
yes.
Zoo where they had
Yes.
this bird thing, this traveling bird, whatever it was. And I brought her there and she's like, I'm not going in there. You know I'm afraid of birds. I was like, I don't think I knew that about you.
Yeah, I have a friend who's afraid of birds, and we went to Animal Kingdom at Disney into the aviary. And like the whole time she's walking through, she's like, "Are they coming for me?" I'm like, "They're not coming for you.
No one's coming
No
for
one's
you.
coming for you." She like, we never walked so fast as we did through that. She's like
Hysterical. What's up, Dan Chase? Thanks for joining us from Middle America. We're talking to Jillian about peptides and making ourselves feel better. So, what is the most common thing you've been asked for,
I think in general,
other than the GLPs?
yeah, I think just the word peptide is
Yeah.
probably the most common. So I get a lot of people that call, and it's actually the older generation, which I find really interesting. Like people 55 and up
Yeah.
have been calling and they're like, hey, do you have those peptides? I'm like, I have a lot of peptides. I got a lot. Like, let's talk about what you think you might want it for.
Yeah.
Right. And for the ladies, it's usually hair loss or skin elasticity that they're asking for. And then the guys are usually like, I want to lose weight or I want to change my body composition.
Yeah.
And there are peptides for all of those things, but honestly, they work best when paired with the hormones. Right?
Gotcha.
Like, I can give you a peptide for hair loss, but if your thyroid is not working, it's not going to be awesome, like as good as you want it to be.
Okay.
So they usually work best if you're if you're dialed in with some other things, and then you're like, hey, what is the next thing I could do? That's when the peptide's going to work the best.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So we have peptides. So the BPC 157 is for soft tissue injury. And then on Thursday, it was just passed, or FDA said fine, for colitis.
Okay.
Right. So inflammatory bowel disease.
Got
IBS,
it.
So you can take it orally that way and it reduces the inflammation.
That's great because a lot of people that
Yeah.
suffer from that kind of thing, like it's debilitating.
It is debilitating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. So they can take it orally and it helps with that. So that's why it was passed. There was one Epidolon, which is for insomnia.
Okay.
That was just passed. TB 500, which is also for inflammation and wound healing. So, soft tissue injury. Then KPV, which is for wound healing, but topically, meaning it's something you put on the wound
Okay.
to help it heal as opposed to taking it.
Well, and that a lot of older people I
They
used
do.
to hear all the time. If you've got a wound that won't heal,
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
old. Sorry, that's what happens.
That's what happens. Yeah. Yeah. That's very true.
We don't bounce back.
Right. Yeah. Healing from that takes a lot longer. So, yeah. And we've had lots of other peptides, like PT 141 is a peptide that they can give women for libido. And that one actually made it through human clinical trials.
Okay.
So it exists in a form that you could get from your doctor for low libido, but then you can also just get the compound from a compounding pharmacy.
Awesome. 10, my hair ain't coming back. That's different.
That might be true. Depends on why you lost your hair.
What's up, Miss Mari? Good morning. I need to try. Yeah,
Yes.
right. I think that we're all like mixing up the cocktail of peptide that is best for us at this point.
Yeah, I think it's challenging too, because most of the time the body composition change is a very common conversation, but it's like, okay, well, are you trying to lose fat? Are you trying to build muscle? Are you trying to get rid of your stubborn belly fat? Because those are not always the same answer.
Yeah.
You know, in the stubborn belly fat, unfortunately, you have to start with the hormones first.
Yeah.
Because that's heavily driven by hormones. But then if you're doing that, you're in the gym, you're trying to eat right, and then you're like, I need that last 10% gone.
Yeah.
The peptide will help.
Yeah,
sure.
that was something Tessamorelin I've
Yes,
heard a lot of people
exactly.
having
Yep.
really good
Yes.
results
Yep.
with.
Yep. So that's a growth hormone secretagogue, which is kind of like a peptide. The challenge with those is like they all do great things. Actually, the number one reason I like those is because they give you better sleep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I did like a little experiment with Samorelin or
Yes,
whatever it was,
yes.
and I had the best sleep.
The best sleep. Yeah, it's great. And that you can take that, you can inject it, and you can also take it orally. So
Oh.
that's super helpful.
I was like, well, I think I should do this. Talk
Yes.
to my doctor. She's like, you can do that.
Yeah, you can do that. Right. Yeah. With those, they're a little scarier than the other ones because the word growth is in there.
Yeah, correct.
So if you have
Tumors,
exactly.
scary, like, yeah, definitely consult your doctor before you
Yes.
start taking anything off the side of the road, people.
Yes.
This is the only thing that I
Yeah.
can tell you. Get a
Yes.
doctor.
Bathtub water.
Yes.
Out of wherever. Yes. Yeah. Because the gray market, like you could go online today to a gray market and just buy it, but you
Anything.
have no idea what's
Terrifying.
in it. No idea what's in it. Which I think is a big difference between what I offer and like what you can find off some of these websites.
Yeah.
Is like mine do come from a compounding pharmacy, and that compounding pharmacy is FDA approved.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So they go through all that rigorous testing. They do quality control testing. They do batch control testing. So, you know, it's in the gray space, as in like we don't have a lot of human data.
Yeah.
But it's not in the gray space for prescribing.
And also, I am not a medical professional. Jillian is, and definitely do so. But when you're shopping around your medical professionals, you still have a personal history, and that's on you to divulge to all of your doctors. FYI.
That's very true. I had a little diversion here. I had this one patient, a young man, and he thought his hormones were low.
Yeah.
And in fact, they were.
Yeah.
So I always look at labs and then I take a patient history. And sometimes when a young man has low testosterone, it can be because they have a history of like a concussion, or maybe they played soccer and got multiple concussions. So
Yeah.
that can cause low testosterone over time.
Did not know that. Learned something today.
So I'm asking this young man, I'm like, hey, did you ever get a traumatic brain injury or injury hit your head? And he's like, no. And then later on in the conversation, he's like, oh, wait, I was run over by a bus.
What?
I'm like, what?
No traumatic brain injury here. Just hit by a bus.
He's like,
literally.
I've had memory loss since then. I'm like, oh my God.
I mean, I don't think it's your job as a doctor to ask specific qualifying questions like that, but apparently you have to.
I find unless I ask hyper specific questions, there's a lot that gets left. What? I'm like, okay, well because I couldn't figure out why his numbers looked the way that they did. I'm like, does he have a pituitary and so it just turns out no.
Yeah. Come with the Dead Sea Scrolls of everything that's ever happened to you when you're consulting a doctor, just so that they've got the information just in case.
Yeah. So history does matter, and not just like where you're coming from, but like, what are the risks, right? Where you're going to go with this. Yeah. It's super important because you don't want cancer. I don't want to give you cancer.
Yeah. Right.
Like, yeah. So we have to have those conversations.
Be aware.
And I think it's challenging because a lot of people think that peptides are completely illegal.
Yeah.
So they would rather lie and be like, oh, I need it I hurt my knee. And really they just wanted the peptide. Right. And there's nothing wrong with a peptide for optimizing how you feel, right? That's okay. You just need to be honest.
Yeah. Thank you. Good morning, Miss Jen. I hope everybody had a great weekend. We've got Jillian here. She's from Vallon Medical. If you've got questions, if you've got concerns, if you've got thoughts, if you've heard this from someone and you want to ask a professional, we've got her here for you today.
Yes, I love questions, especially about peptides.
Well, that's the world. I feel like whatever we shift and what the latest craze is because somebody had
Yes.
good results one time
Yes.
and then now everybody wants it.
Yes, that's true. And that's okay, right? As long as it's safe,
Yeah.
right? And you're not like it's one of those worlds where like you should definitely take it how prescribed
Yeah.
because more is not always better,
Yeah.
right? Like there are safe zones and not safe zones, but in general most peptides are safe, right? Like BPC 157, which I prescribe a lot, especially for like gym people who strain something but don't want to be out for like 8 weeks.
Right.
You know, they do that a lot. And
Well, because you put a lot of fatigue on your body when you're
Yes.
training for something. And
Yep.
we've all been there. You wanted to do that 5K or you've got this goal, or
Yes.
you got a show or you got a something. Poor Lorraine over at the bank, she strained something at Pilates and now she's worried she's not going to be able to be a server at La Tavola this week.
Yeah.
Lorraine, go see
Yes,
Jillian. We'll
yeah.
get you all
Like
fixed up.
she can't turn her head. She's
Yeah.
got that Batman motion.
Yeah, well, or
right?
she's got some other soft tissue situation
Yes.
that she's got going on, and that could be helpful in that
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah, and the BPC has minimal side effects. Sometimes people get a headache, but it's usually like it goes away on its own. It doesn't usually every time you take it, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So, but some of the other ones can have other side effects, like the things like sermorelin can increase your growth, your like hunger signaling,
Okay.
because it's a growth. It's trying to help you grow, but not to the point where like you're going to get diabetes.
We've grown you into another peptide problem.
Right.
Here, take this one.
Here's your insulin. You can have it now. Yeah.
Good morning. When Jillian said the older generation was 55 and up, I threw out the 57 candles for my recent birthday cake and took a handful of peptides.
Oh no.
I love you, Penta. Happy
That's
birthday.
amazing. Yes,
You
happy
look fabulous.
birthday.
And by the way, you take great care of yourself. You don't drink. You just
Yes. And
you look fabulous.
That's the right thing to do. Right?
Yeah.
You're doing all of the other right things, right? You're getting your good sleep, you're not drinking, you're eating enough protein, right? Because that's key. And I was not trying to isolate the older generation. I am creeping up on that as well.
We're all looking at AARP things going, we're not that old.
Yes. Although I'm looking forward to getting senior discounts.
Yeah, that's it. I think that's the only thing that goes along with it. What do you do? What do you got for frozen shoulders, says Jen?
Well, frozen shoulder is a very common sign of menopause. So the first question would be is how old are you? Because it could be a sign of menopause. But frozen peptides like injectable BPC can help with frozen shoulder if in fact it's not a hormone problem.
Aha.
Right. Because I think we talked last time, you need hormones for your joint mobility because some of the fluid in there is hormone.
Gotcha.
So if you're low in a hormone state, men or woman, your joints are just going to hurt all the time.
Ugh.
Yeah. So if it's a hormone problem, hormones would be the first answer.
Got it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Jillian. Oh my God, Jillian. Hello. So says Cindy. Let's talk about
Cindy.
sex, baby.
Oh my God. We did that last time, didn't we?
Cindy really enjoyed it. She's like a 12-year-old boy. I very much enjoy her.
Yes. Yeah, that was when we embarrassed your son.
That was my favorite part of the day when he came down and we were talking about vaginal dryness. And I thought he just wanted to be offing himself right there.
Right. Yes. Awful for a teenager to be like, oh my God, what did I just walk into?
No.
Oh no.
So Mari says, I see these advertising on Facebook. Are they safe? I need it for weight loss.
Again, yes, maybe, right? So it's a broad question, right? So I guess which peptide, right? So the GLPs, hands down, are for weight loss.
Yep.
Right? All of them. The single agonist, the dual agonist, the triple, they're all for weight loss. They're moving forward with other indications, right? Things like chronic liver disease, sleep apnea. So those, that first like peptide of GLPs, yes, are for weight loss. Some of these other ones like the sermorelin or the MOTC, which is a weird one, another Star Wars android, they can help change body composition, but they're not necessarily going to cause you to just drop the weight.
Okay.
So they might get rid of some visceral fat, which is the dangerous fat that lives on your
around
organs,
your belly. Yep.
Yeah, which can cause lots of problems. So it can help realign some of that, but it's not going to drop weight like a GLP.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, it can help for sure.
Moves it around a little.
Yeah. Yeah, it can increase your metabolic rate, which when you have higher metabolism, you burn fat better.
Gotcha.
So that it can help with that.
That sounds like night sweats to me, though.
We have a
I
different.
feel like we're trading one problem for
Yes,
another
yes.
problem here.
Well, exactly, which is why I said like the people that get the most benefit from it are already doing a lot of other things.
Okay.
Right? They're taking they get their patch on.
Yeah.
They're using their testosterone cream. They're taking their progesterone. They're getting good
Why is
sleep.
it so hard to just live?
That's a great. I wonder that too sometimes. Like
I was up this morning with my little Noom gun because that one with my little ageless whatever, and I'm like, fix my wrinkles, please. And my husband's like, is that okay for me to look at? I said, look away.
look away. Yes.
I've got
Yeah.
my sunglasses on and I'm zapping my face.
Oh my God.
What are we doing?
You have a red light therapy mask? You do. That's great.
I'm like, I just feel like I need it. Maybe that'll help.
I have a red light therapy hair oiling one, which helps with hair loss.
Okay.
But every time I do it, my family's like, you're just weird. Like, you're just being weird.
Well, I think that's one of my favorite memes that I see where this woman's on this shake weight plate and she's, trying to do 14 other things that are told that are good for her. And we're just trying to get it all in at once so we can go and live a regular life.
Right. And what is it? The high maintenance things I do to be low maintenance.
Yes.
And you're like, you're not low maintenance. It's just high maintenance. You just hide it.
So hard to live these days.
It is.
Jillian knows about Star Wars. She is so cool. I know, right, Cindy?
I have a Star Wars tattoo. I mean, I have the Death Star, which, says a lot about me probably.
I love it.
Yeah.
Lindsay
I love Star
said,
Wars.
You might have covered this, but what would you recommend for a better mental clarity and mood therapy?
That is a great question. So there are always qualifying statements, but mental energy is always hormones, right? Like when you have brain fog, your hormones are, unless if you're not sleeping, then that's a problem. But it's almost always hormones. Testosterone being the number one issue. Right? But there are some peptides. So like Semax, Semax, it's a nasal spray. And again, it came out of Russia. They did a lot of studies, probably unethically, but we
shocker.
But we get to benefit from some of that because they actually did keep very meticulous records, which is great. But they use that they've used it for stroke recovery, which is super cool.
Wow.
So it treats migraines, trigeminal neuralgia, which is like a very painful paralysis of one of your facial nerves. But it helps with mental clarity too. So it's super cool. And then mood, I think, is probably depending on why your mood is low, right? If it's because your life is crazy, which some of us live in that space, is hard. But honestly, I find that sleep is the number one way to fix that, right? And if sleep is a challenge, then we have lots of things that we can do for that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, hopefully that helped a little bit. Hello, Miss Emily. How are you surviving with little people in your life? See, she's younger and has, a million things that are pulling her away and distracting her with something that might be good for her. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, sometimes
getting a babysitter.
Yeah, get a baby. That's hard though, right?
Impossible.
It's impossible. Yeah. You have to have family or you have to have someone you can just like
finding someone you implicitly trust so that you can actually relax. Good luck to you.
Yeah. And even as your kids get older, right? Like my son was older and was capable of watching our daughter. And then my husband and I tried to go away and he like crashed his car. Right.
It happens.
It happens. But we're like 4 hours away with no service. Right. And we're like, okay, I guess we're never going on vacation again. That was it. That was the one. That was it. We tried. Didn't work. Yeah. But I think it's important to know too that people are often like, I'm doing the hormones and I'm sleeping and I'm eating and I'm taking the peptides and all of a sudden things aren't great. I'm like, okay, well, life still happens.
Yeah.
So, all the peptides in the world, all the hormones in the world, they can make you feel more resilient, like you can handle the things that are happening, but life still happens.
I appreciate that because there's no magic pill for things.
I wish.
We're still waiting for that magical pill or injection for some reason to make us feel better without having to change anything of what we're doing.
Yeah, I think that's so important.
Where are the magic beans?
Yes. Yeah.
There are none.
When do we get those? Well, and I think that's what people think a GLP is.
Yeah.
Right? It's like they take this injection and then they lose all the weight that they want to. And have maybe they started going to the gym because they have more energy, but like their food patterns haven't changed drastically. And then they come off the GLP and historically they gain at least 12% of that weight back.
Yeah. And that's tough.
It's tough, right?
Because
But
you don't want to be beholden to a shot or injection, a
exactly.
pill or forever.
Yes, but losing weight and keeping it off is really hard.
Mhm.
It's very hard. I think you could look at it on the other side, like they kept 88% of it off,
Yeah.
right? Like that's so it
There you go.
depends on what your goals are. It depends on how you feel. And I think how you feel is so important, right? Like you have to feel
100%.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely not loving where I'm at right now, and I've been every size in the rainbow. Um,
Yeah.
however, I sleep great. I've got good energy. I
Yes.
have mental clarity, and so I'm fine right now. I'm
Yeah.
like, whatever. I'm not rocking the boat before I start jabbing myself with more
Yes.
stuff I don't need.
That's right. Yeah. And I that's true too.
I'm
Like
functioning. Nothing really hurts. I wake up every day and nothing hurts. So I'm not complaining.
that's a good sign.
Right?
Right.
Like I feel like I'll get there eventually.
Mhm.
As you age, you lose body mass anyway.
That's
so
true. You do.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to my next best generation.
Yes, I think that's it's a great way. I mean, if you feel good, right? Like there's no
Yeah.
need to mess with it. But, if you're not feeling good or, I think I said before, the number one thing I hear from my female patients is I just don't feel like myself.
Correct.
Right. And that I said that about myself the other day. I'm like, I just don't know what's
Something's off.
Something's off.
Yeah.
Right. So then I tried to figure it out. But that's the number one thing I hear is I just don't feel like myself.
Well, and I'm sure you are the worst because you are also a medical professional. So
Yes.
now you're like,
Yeah.
what is it? It could be this. It could be that. It
Yes.
could be this.
I usually start with the basics. Like, okay, did I sleep last night? Did I have water today? Did I get outside and get a little vitamin D? Have I gone to the gym? Like I do the things first that should just happen every day.
Yeah.
And then if those aren't the issue, then I do a little deeper dive. But that's also how I approach my patients. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you doing these other things?
Well, that's it. You also can start right there.
Yeah.
in your day.
Yes.
Those are your baselines,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. And sleep is just non-negotiable. Like in my house, for me, like I have to get 8 hours of sleep or I'm a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's a must.
I'm a 5 hours of sleep, but I need it and I need it continuously and
Yes.
uninterrupted
Yes.
or you will die.
Yes.
So
That's true.
and my
That's
kids and
true.
husband know that very well. My
Yeah.
husband's like, oh, nap it out.
Yeah. My
Just
family's
go.
the same way. Yeah.
What's up, Patrice? Thanks for joining us. If you've got questions for Jillian, please ask her. Good morning, Mark Goldberg. We are doing very well this morning. Mark is going to be joining us on the show, and we're going to be doing a once a month business segment.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
great.
So I would love for you to come back and do like a once a month medical
Yeah,
segment.
I
You
think
know what
that
I
would be
mean?
great. Yeah. There are so many topics we could cover, and I'm happy to discuss any of them, right? Like I love talking about it.
Well,
for
she's
sure.
a wealth of knowledge. And if she doesn't know, she'll do the research to find out, which is why I also appreciate
100%. Yes.
yapping with Jillian for sure.
Yes.
And I know you're a beast, Cindy. Keep it up in the gym. I mean, you are absolutely incredible. What's up, Dave Hagner? Thanks for joining us on the show. We've got our nurse practitioner, Jillian, here from Valen Medical, valenmedical.com. If you want to check out her practice and see what it is that she is doing. She's located in Marston's Mills.
Yes, that's correct. Yep. I'm also licensed in Florida now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you get calls so that people, I feel like that's a good thing for you to be licensed in Florida because we've got a lot of snowbirds here.
We have a lot of snowbirds. So I haven't received any calls from people just in Florida.
Yep.
But I have a lot of patients here who are like, oh, I guess I'll only get to see you half of the year. And I'm like, nope, I can follow you when you go back home.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Or, I mean, they don't have to, right? If they have a provider down there that they like, of course, go back to them. But it allows me to work in that space continuously.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to be doing something over at Summerfield Spa. What is
Yes.
happening?
So Summerfield Spa, August 4th in the evening, we're having a discussion about hormones, right? Like I've done it in the past for some other places, but like, what are the scary things about hormones? What are the myths? What are the facts? Whether they're right for you? How do you know if it's time for you to be on hormones? And more importantly, like, how do you navigate that conversation with your own doctor, right?
Mhm.
Like a lot of people, they get their labs back and everything is green.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, I guess there's nothing
Well,
wrong with me.
To be fair, a lot of GPs are overtaxed. They're
Yes.
they don't have time to spend with their patients.
Yes.
It's a reason why I went and, my family uses concierge doctors because
Yes.
I like to talk to my doctor. My husband also likes to just chit chat with Will
Yes.
all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what do you think about? And I'm like, oh God, but I pay for it.
Right. Yeah. We need more of those.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's really super important when you've just got your regular insurance. It just covers your basic appointments and
Yeah.
doctors are spending $6 to 7 minutes with you, and that's
Yes,
all. So
that's
they're
it.
not getting a full
That's it.
view
Well, and
of what you need.
having worked in primary care, I've seen that firsthand. It's
Yeah.
like somebody shows up, 3 or 4 minutes late for their appointment. Then the medical assistant has to check them in. They do their weight, they do their vitals, they verify their meds. By the time I get them, I literally have 6 or 7 minutes left in that scheduled appointment before the whole day is gone,
Yeah.
right? And they come in and they never got their labs done. And I'm like, what are you doing here?
I know.
Right. And they're like, I don't know. My wife told me to come in. Right. And I'm like, you're on 75 medications. Which one? What do you want to talk about?
What do you want to attack?
What does your wife want me to fix for you today? Right. But, and it's, and you just feel like so helpless.
Yeah.
Because they have lots of problems, but there's no time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were we talking about before that?
We were just talking about taking care of
Summerfield
yourself.
Spa,
Yeah.
Summerfield
And
Spa.
like why you might want to have that
Yes.
conversation with you.
Yes.
And then you can go back to your GP and be like this.
Exactly.
And then work things out between you and the doc or however it is you want to treat
Yes.
yourself. I just feel like you owe it to yourself to spend a little time
Yeah.
having these discussions.
Yes. And you have to ask,
Yeah.
right? Like your doctor, your primary, even your gynecologist, as unfortunate as it might be, they're not necessarily going to bring up to you, be like, oh, hey, maybe it's your hormones, right? If you ask, they might say yes, for sure. But they're not comfortable living in that space of prescribing it for lots of reasons. And part of that is actually health insurance.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
a bit like a man, if his testosterone, like a normal range at Quest is like 250 to 850. So if he's 251, insurance isn't going to cover it.
Yeah.
And he's going to feel awful, right? So sometimes that conversation with your doctor is dictated by insurance too.
Yeah.
But the Summerfield Spa event, here are some keywords that you can bring back to your primary, back to your gynecologist to see if they'll prescribe for you or at least assess for you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a very important piece of it.
Well, and every body is different.
That's right.
And I'm going through this with my son. He accidentally found out that he had some sort of spleen situation. And we've been watching it over the past few years and, getting his hematology and getting his ultrasounds. And I was like, well, maybe he just has a big spleen.
Yeah.
Like we never looked at it before.
Right.
So there was no baseline
yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yes.
And he, playing football and worrisome of like scary things. I was like, what are we going to change in your life?
Yes.
Are you going to play ball at college? Because then if that is going to happen, you might want to have that thing removed.
Right.
I don't know. Is it that important to
Yeah.
you?
I think baseline is very key, and
Yeah.
most people don't have it.
No.
Like if a young person, can get hormones tested when, like it should be yearly, right? It should be part of your yearly physical.
I agree.
So that when if
something's up,
absolutely, you'll have that information, and it's really important for girls too, right? Because they don't always cycle regularly, and maybe
or a lot,
or a lot, right? Maybe only one of their ovaries works, or maybe they have heavy like there are lots of things that a hormone panel can tell us about your cycles that can help you feel better.
Yeah, Cindy, maybe it's your hormones and maybe it's Maybelline. Exactly.
If
we don't know.
Right, if Maybelline fixed it, CVS would be so busy and
forever.
Our receipts at CVS would get even bigger.
Can you imagine? Then this is your problem. What about itchy skin?
Oh, that's a great question. Again, I guess is it new? Is it always there?
Yeah.
Right? So it would depend. To me, itchy skin is like you have eczema, or you have an allergic reaction to something, or you just have chronic histamine buildup, where taking something like Peptide will get rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it depends on how long it's been there.
Give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Or it's menopause.
Oh,
I
yes.
don't know.
Yes, that's super common.
Okay.
Yeah. It's usually a histamine reaction. So you could try Peptide to see if it makes it better. I know that's like a GI medicine, but it's a histamine blocker, which is really great. Or hormones.
That's all. Just a little bit of hormones.
Little bit of hormones. Yeah. Yes.
We're all doing our best to just feel better. We're here talking about peptides, and Jillian is here from Valen Medical. She's got a talk coming up about your hormones. If you want to get more into that over at Summerfield Spa, or if you want to book an appointment with her, you can definitely do so. I suggest get a baseline. Figure out where you're at. And I know that changes every day too, but
it does. Or I mean, it changes. It could change parts of the month for women.
Yeah.
For sure. For men, it doesn't change that often.
You guys suck.
Yeah. I mean, it could change from morning to evening, but in general, it's pretty consistent. Whereas women, it's like I could check somebody's estrogen today and it could be 500, and then I check it tomorrow and it's 0, right? Like, so
fun.
Yeah. So
the roller
so
coaster
fun.
ride of
Mhm.
dealing with this chemistry
Yeah.
experiment that's
Yeah,
our body.
right. Yeah, and it can be hard. I think that's another piece that's important too. As I have these conversations with women, right? Sometimes I almost wanted to call my clinic like the clinic of last resort, right?
Mm.
Because by the time they get to me, they've tried everything, or they've
Defeated and frustrated.
yeah, or been gaslighted,
Fix
right,
it.
forever. So by the time they get to me, they've been so miserable for so long that it just takes a while to get dialed in. So then they start to feel better, but they don't feel 100% better. So I often say, okay, you're going to see me after your first follow up in 8 weeks. If you're 40% better, that's a win, because we're on the right track.
Okay.
I never expect someone to be 100% better within that first 8 weeks, because it takes a while to find the right dose and the right timing and which method of taking the hormone works best for you, because it's not the same for everyone. So as long as you're noticing some improvement, we have lots of room to make adjustments.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes time.
Anything else that you want to talk about before we get going?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we can find an interesting topic for each month, but I'm happy to talk about. So if anybody wants to either message me at valenmedical.com or message Stephanie about topics that you would like us to discuss about your health and hormones. Books. I love book. I have like 5 books on my nightstand. Super interesting. Any of that, I'm happy to chat about. So you just let us know. But any questions for me, you can reach me at valenmedical.com, or the Summerfield Spa event is coming up. And then you can always reach out to Stephanie as well.
Oh, you're the best, Jillian. Always come back. It's my favorite. Start Monday with a little bit of medical stuff.
Yes.
All right, everybody, we got a good week ahead of us. We'll talk soon, and please definitely reach out to Jillian if you've got questions that are a little too personal to share with all of us. We'll talk later. Bye.
Bye.